Now, Andrew Rodriguez is a licensed professional counselor and the director of Integrity Christian Counseling in Pottstown, Pennsylvania. He's a certified reintegrative therapist, a Living Waters coordinator, and the creator of the YouTube channel Psychobible, babbling about psychology and theology. And Andrew has a story.
Thank you, guys. All right. I just had a op-ed with the Christian Post published yesterday, so I just want to read a couple lines from the opening here. I am the boogeyman. Yes, according to the LGBTQ activists and their sympathizers, I am the terror that haunts their nightmares. What am I? I'm a psychotherapist that offers help to individuals who are looking to understand their same-sex attractions, to explore change in some way in their attractions and their behaviors. And for that hideous crime, I'm I don't want to say the word, but they call me the conversion therapist. And so they think that is sufficient to vilify me. And so here is my supervillain origin story. But first, I want a little bit of an extra preface here. The world is under the subjugation of the kingdom of darkness. And Jesus' mission is to bring creation back to the beauty of its origin. And so, in the state of disintegration that the world is in, the gospel is Jesus coming and bringing things back into right order. So when we, as healers, come and bring people or help, we partner with Christ in bringing people to right order, we are a threat. Because that is what the enemy is most scared of. Our greatest weapon against the kingdom of darkness is bringing healing and wholeness. When you take action to help people heal, you are now a threat. The enemy always goes after the healers. Whose books are being banned? Not the books that just say that homosexuality is wrong. Those still exist. It's the ones that help people get out of it, help people heal. You're the enemy. So, if you want to help people, prepare to be hated. So my testimony is just that. I've been vilified by both the church and the world. So I'm going to share my story briefly as I can. I love sharing my story, but the full version takes a while. So I'm going to share it briefly in two parts. So when I was a student at a Christian college, I saw a need. My fellow students, friends, acquaintances I was just getting to know were struggling with all sorts of sexual issues, but in particular, I was seeing guys who were struggling with same-sex attraction, homosexual behavior, and there was no help on campus. And after doing an internship at a member ministry of Exodus and helping with the recovery groups, I came back to campus, and God spoke to me clear as day, you're going to start up a group. You're going to do something. So that meant I had to confront some of the people I knew, but it also meant then that God had to equip me with a couple things. First thing that God had to equip in me was a tender heart toward the strugglers. I'd like to say that I always was super compassionate and caring, but I am the guy who would tell gay jokes and might mock some of the guys who are really flamboyant. And I remember distinctly when God convicted me, I have to stop that. There would be some of the guys that God was calling me to minister to, and some of them were so flamboyant, and it would irk me, it would get under my skin, and I just had that yuck reaction. And the Holy Spirit worked on that. So I have a tender heart toward the struggler, toward those who don't even struggle with it, but they, or at least they're not like actively struggling, but they have this area in them that needs healing. And God had to replace my heart with a tender heart for them. The next thing he had to do was give me a thick skin. So a tender heart and a thick skin. So I went to the administration, and here's where I first faced opposition from the church. I'm thinking, it's clear you guys have a problem on campus. It was kind of a don't ask, don't tell kind of approach on campus. Clearly there was guys who were struggling, but there was no help being offered. And everyone's kind of scared to reveal that they struggle in this area. And so I'm like, well, I just came back from an internship dealing with these issues. I'm gonna propose this to the student life. They're gonna love this idea. No, they didn't. The director of student life told me if there was a group that guys could go to, then they wouldn't come to student life so we could discipline them. And if there was a group, then when they broke one of the rules of conduct, you'll have to report them so that we can punish them. So we butted heads. Like, that is not how this works. But I persevered. And God eventually changed the administration. Quite literally, the person in charge of student life left, bye-bye. And things were finally I got some people who were sympathetic. But I still persevered, and God partnered me with others who were like-minded. There's so much more to the story I wish I could share, but I gotta keep going. I also was equipped, thank God, because at least my school had your books. First book I ever read was Steps Out of Homosexuality by Frank Worthen. And then Andrew Comiskey's Pursuing Sexual Wholeness, and then Strong Delusion by Joe Dallas. And I was equipped by you guys. So you're my heroes. And so I led that group for 8 years. I was still living in the area after I graduated, and I wanted to leave my campus a better place than how I came in. Halfway through my time there, I started graduate school, because here I am working an office job and then leading this group part-time, just voluntarily, and just increase my hunger to want to do this more. I want to be a therapist full-time. I don't want to just do it a little bit in a group setting after work. So I went to graduate school, and I went to a so-called Catholic university. It was a very inclusive, progressive Catholic university. And I had a choice to make. Do I hide what I'm doing, working with guys of same-sex attraction, and just wait till I graduate and then I go into this work? But I was very certain that I'm going to stand before God one day, not the American Psychological Association, not the American Counseling Association. So I was determined I was going to be honest throughout my whole grad school experience. Another thing, too, it also helped that I had a wife who really had my back. When we were just engaged, I told her, if I go into this work, people are going to attack me. Are you ready for that? And she's like, hey, God told you to do it. You do it. I'm like, I'm marrying a good one. So, my graduate school was very fun. I was homeschooled growing up, so graduate school was like my public school experience. I got to witness in class and share about Christ with students and with my professors. And because I had been doing this type of work on the side as a lay counselor for so long, they actually wanted to hear what I had to say. And everything was going well up until 4 weeks before I was going to graduate. And it was the day before going to my very first Restored Hope Network conference, the one in Lancaster in 2015. I got an email from the head of my internship program at school telling me that they become aware, well, of course they became aware of this because I put it in my bio, but they became aware that I am helping people coping with unwanted same-sex attractions and leaving homosexual lifestyles, and so therefore I must stop my internship immediately, my year-long internship. That was 4 weeks away from finishing and then graduating. And so I couldn't have been in a better place, going to that Restored Hope Network conference and being surrounded by you all to give me some advice and encouragement. And because after that, then I would be interrogated by the school. And they asked me all sorts of stupid questions, and I had an answer for everything. And eventually, I had to get some legal representation, and it took a few months for them to resolve this, but the school was blacklisting me throughout Philadelphia, going to other internship sites saying they have a student who needs a new internship because he's doing unethical practice at his current internship. So no one wanted me, of course, so they came back and said, well, since no other internship site wants you, we're going to have to let you go. But it didn't matter to me because I knew God was going to have my back either way. I was able to transfer. I still actually graduated from the very school that it's a long story, that I actually was kicked out of because I still had enough credits to graduate with the lower degree. But God still had my back because through you guys and the connections here, actually God just propelled me even more into this field. I got connected with one of my heroes, Joseph Nicolosi. Got to work with him a bit before he passed away in 2017. Now working with his son, and I'm now on the board of the Alliance for Therapeutic Choice and Scientific Integrity. I'm reaching people around the world with my YouTube channel. I persevered. But I've had to take some penalties for it. I've lost job opportunities, lost friends. Most of my family doesn't want to talk to me. Not that I care, but and I'm constantly under threat. You never know. They might pass another ban or something, or I mean, even my state's kind of up in the air what the legality of what I do is. But when God calls you to do something, you do it. And what I so long to see in my generation is Christians who have a tender heart for the hurting and a thick skin when it comes to the world, because I need fellow warriors. I wish I had more therapists I could refer clients to. I got a wait list right now. I need more help. So if you want to be a counselor in this field, you just got to be prepared. You're going to be hated. But the reward is so great when I see people set free, when I see people finally knowing who they really are. You can't take that away from me. So, thank you.
Thank you, Andrew, for maintaining a tender heart beneath that thick skin.